Are interracial marriages okay for Christians? Hi, I'm Dr. Hannah Thuku Kolamainen, writer of Napping in Delilah's Lap, The Pandemic of Pornography in the Pew and the Pulpit. And I wanted to tackle that question. Is it okay for Christians to be in multiracial or biracial or interracial marriages, intertribal marriages? I would like to use Samson as an example of God's thoughts regarding interracial marriages. I believe that the matter at hand has to do with whether or not you're a believer. If you're a believer in Jesus Christ, then you are much like Samson. Now, I'll read some excerpts from Napping in Delilah. And in it, I state that Samson is a person who was called, who was set apart, and who was greatly gifted. In fact, this man had a holy calling upon his life before he was conceived. Now, Samson had a burning passion and desire for foreign women, particularly Philistine women. God had made a command regarding marrying foreign women. Now we see a problem here, and I see three problems with Samson falling in love and desiring foreign women, especially Philistine women. Here's the first one. In Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 4, God says, your sons will not marry foreign women. Why? Because they will turn your sons away from following me to serve other gods. That there is the problem. It is a matter of the heart. God's expectation of us is that we follow him wholeheartedly. Marrying foreign women means that we will not follow God wholeheartedly. So, are interracial marriages okay or not? The matter is not the race. The matter is this business of following God wholeheartedly. So if you're going to marry a spouse who is going to turn your heart away from following God into serving other gods, that becomes the definition of a foreign woman. We look at Paul in the New Testament. In his letter to the Corinthians, he is even telling believers not to get married. Why? Because he knows your heart will be divided. You are supposed to please your spouse. So right there sets off a pace whereby you are not following God, you are pleasing your wife. And Paul's desire, Paul is jealous for you so that you follow God wholeheartedly. So here we find Samson not only wanting to get married, which God supports and desires and blesses, and we find him desiring people that are going to turn his heart away from God. The second reason is because the Philistines are the very enemies who are suppressing God's people and who Samson is called to rise up against. So the fact that he is desiring and carousing with these women means that he is literally sleeping with the enemy. The third reason is because as a leader, Samson is supposed to be the role model for the Israelites. And where is he? He is napping in the voluptuous lap of a Philistine woman. Here I say, toward the end of his life, Samson met Delilah and fell madly in love with her. Now, Delilah had plans for Samson, but they were not for his good. Like the enemy of our souls, we find that she had no qualms about killing, stealing from, or destroying him. From her hands, he drank from the rivers of sexual pleasures. In her hands, he lost his strength, his sight, his freedom, his calling, and ultimately his life. Listen to this passage from Proverbs chapter 7, verse 26 through 27. She, referring to the temptress, has been the ruin of many. Many men have been her victims. Her house is the road to the grave. Her bedroom is the den of death. Believers, if we are to desire to have a spouse, God's desire for us is that the spouse also love him wholeheartedly, so that together you and your spouse become a force that loves and grows toward godliness and not a wedge between your heart and God's heart. Next time, we are going to look at 4 reasons why Samson is very similar to believers and what God's expectation is of us. If you have not purchased a copy of Napping in Delilah's Lap, please visit furtherthefaith.com and purchase a copy. I will be happy to send you a signed copy for you, and I'll save you 1 shipping and cover that myself. God bless you.